This week on CryptoCorner, we are going to be memeing, of course. We have our Mothman Dolph here. I thought this meme was cute, but that's me, and I have a weird sense of humor. I have a weird interpretation of what's cute. I think anybody who hangs around here enough definitely knows that. I think a lot of bugs and stuff are cute that other people might just flee in terror from. So yeah, if you didn't notice, the CryptoCorner background is a little different this morning because we are covering a unique topic, something I've put off with and toyed with, and trying to decide how to approach it. And it'll probably be something we do in more than one part. But today we are talking about fairies and fairy sightings, because believe it or not, fairy sightings occur, and people claim to have seen fairies quite often. And if you want to see some fairies, this is going to be a lot like when we looked at the trail cams and the closed circuit, CCTV or whatever, the closed circuit television footage. So that is where we're going to be diving into this morning, and it's going to be a bunch of short little clips for the most part, and then we're going to talk maybe a little bit about fairy lore. But let's look at our first fairy encounter. This guy here, he captured a mysterious creature. Ring camera captures mysterious creature, fairy. So let's see what it is. All right, here we are. I'm assuming everybody saw that. Let's go back and take another gander. Maybe try to pause it. Stool I did in mermaids like 2 weeks ago. Where were you? All right. So here is our fairy. It is interesting looking, the way it's flying. And given that fairies are alleged to have insect wings, so I mean, that's not saying that it can't, that rules out a fairy the way that it's flying, because it's flying like a moth. But looking at its features here, I'm not. There's only like a couple of frames that it's on camera for, so. All right, so let's see. We have popping up in the left here, and then we kind of skitter across here. I don't know. I'm definitely going with Luna Moth. I would say that if I saw this on my security camera, I probably wouldn't even investigate. I probably would not even take the time to look into it, because it doesn't seem to me to be anything unnatural. This just seems like a large flying insect. All right, we're going to slow down, and they're going to play a copy of it. And yeah, I'm going with I am of the opinion that what we are looking at here is that is the still that they want to sell us on the fairy idea on. But I don't see it as a fairy. I think I see a moth. I really do. Especially some of the things about the wing structure here. Obviously, we're not getting a clear image because of the frame rate of these security cameras versus the wing flapping of our alleged fairy here. So we get a very peculiar image, but I think that we are looking at kind of an overlay of different places in motion that's giving it this sort of bizarre look. But I am confident that this one is an insect of some kind. I think we're probably to be frank, we are probably going to be seeing quite a bit of that as we move through these. Let's move on to the next one. Let's see, what do we got here? All right. This one's super short, but I like this one because it's kind of funny. Here we go. Did you see it? If you blink and you'll miss it, but what we have here, let's see, we have wings. We have what appears to be the antenna of a moth. Of a moth. And then what could be Circe, or maybe the tips of the wings. It could be, I think it's probably wingtips, how thick it is. Moths generally don't have, it could, there are some species of moth that have inflatable appendages that come off of their abdomen. I'm not saying that's what this is, but that's a possibility of what it has going on down here. But I don't think that these look like legs. If that's the cell, these definitely do not look like legs to me. Yeah, this is another one that I would not have gone with. Oh, it looks like a fairy, because it doesn't look like a fairy to me at all. But that's just my personal opinion. With my experience at looking at these photos and videos over the years. This one also appears to be a large insect to me. All right, so let's see what the next one is. So far, I am not impressed with any of these alleged fairy sightings. Where are the good pixie little winged people images? Where are those at? Because that's what I'm really wanting to see. Where is our 21st century version of the Coddington fairies? Coddington, or is it Cottagetown? Either way, the little fairies that were turned out to be just cutouts. Yeah, let's see what this one. What? Ooh, almost made it too big. Hold on. There we are. All right, here's our next one. We got what appears to be a camera pointing off down the front of a porch area with some lovely seating. We have a couch and a coffee table here. It looks like we might be in some kind of trailer park. This looks like a trailer to me right here. This also looks like the end of a trailer down here with a wraparound porch built onto it. It's also seeing what appears to be a trailer over here, little rows of trailers. So I'm thinking this is probably a trailer park. Not that I'm saying there's anything wrong with that, just that that's what it appears to be to me. And we are on somebody's porch in a trailer park. So let's see what they have captured in their little 43-second video here. Oh, there we are. Okay, that one. I do like this one. Look at that, because it has... It's again, it's the frame rate that's the problem here, because you got this frame, because there's two different frames that overlap in here. You got this frame with the where I don't know how well it looks like it's conveying all right on the Streamlabs. So this front portion here, it's a little bit more gray color, a little bit more blurred than this white formation back behind here, where we see the extensions on the back end here. But it does very much, this one of these videos, this one looks the most like a fairy that I've seen so far. So this just the happenstance of is that the tooth fairy leaving? Or leave your comments below. Is that the tooth fairy? What do you guys think? I think it's that we're looking at another moth here, but the way that the legs, and I'm putting my fingers in quotes if you can't see me down here, the legs I think are probably an extension of the wings, but let's watch it through and see. What is this here? Now, this is the report on it. As we get older, it can be easy to lose the sense of magic we had as a child, but one mom's belief in magic has been freshly renewed after she caught the tooth fairy on her Ring doorbell footage. Alicia started was staying at her parents' caravan at a holiday park when the mysterious flying object triggered the sensor, leaving her and her kids absolutely gobsmacked. Mom, Alicia, 38, and kids 17-year-old Millie, Layla, 11, and Danny, 9, were all absolutely baffled by the winged fairy-shaped object that fluttered towards the camera before flying over the roof of the caravan. And I just want to point out that Alicia is the same age as me with kids that are all the same age as my kids. That's kind of weird. That's one of the things that people are always like, oh, look, there's all this correlation here. You can draw correlations through all kinds of stuff. But like, oh, so this lady has kids the same age as me. She's the same age as me. Ooh, there must be something going on here. But we are convinced it's the tooth fairy, Millie said. It's definitely a fairy. Alicia said, adding, my dad said we're all away with the fairies. I don't know. I'm not as convinced as the Stoddarts are that this is a fairy. I do enjoy the footage, though. I do think it's of the ones that we've looked at so far. This one, this is an ad that they can, they just tacked right onto there. Let's go back and look at this image here. All right, so up here we have wings that come to a point. You can have maybe a ruffled edge. These are not... I'm not convinced that these are legs, obviously, for the same reason I haven't been convinced that any of these are legs, but I don't doubt that these could be the inflation appendages. Maybe I should show you what those look like. Hold on just a second. We'll have a quick look at those. All right, let me see here. Well, these ones are a little bit elaborate, but yeah, let's see. So I got a new setup, is why I'm kind of clumsily navigating through this, so I do apologize for that. Hopefully I'll get to where I'm moving through a lot smoother, but I kind of revamped everything a little bit to try to make it more visually appealing. But yeah, so you get these weird inflatable appendages off of. This guy has some really crazy ones here. This fella right here. Look at that. So they come in a few different shapes and sizes, but most notably they come in a shape and size that looks like little legs. So yeah, and yeah, let's go back to that footage real quick here and see. Oh, where are we here? Okay. So what do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of this fairy? This is the one that, again, this is the one that kind of convinced me to cover this topic. 'Cause I found this on a Reddit or subreddit, so of all things. So yeah. Anyway, pretty nifty imagery here. Regardless, I do like this one. I do think it's a moth, but I do think as of the ones that we've looked at so far, this one's the most compelling. All right, so our next one is, and we got quite a few of these, so we are not going to run out of fairy footage anytime soon. So buckle in. I am going through these kind of slow, but that one I really wanted to spend a little bit more time on. But let's look at what we have here. More security footage, or what they call oh, this is a security camera, but they have these doorbell footage as well. Let's see. Alright, so there we have a cat. Cat sets off motion sensor. Moths and bugs start to appear. Oh, and there was our alleged fairy. Are they going to go back and pause on it? Let's see what they have to say about it, or what they think is convincing that this was a fairy. So the cat set off the motion alarm. The insects didn't. Insects usually don't set off motion alarms, but is that all we get? Is that all we get? Because I'm going to have to go back and pause it if it is. And there's our kitty. Our kitty's back here. There's our moths. Cat's after something. I think that what they wanted us to see was that guy. So let's have a pause on him and see what we think. About 19 seconds in, we have there's a long, slender form. I don't think this is a moth, guys. I don't think it is. I think it may be like a lacewing, perhaps, with maybe a little bit warmer. I don't know about the coloration, but the wing flap definitely makes me think lacewing. But I'm always willing to, if anybody disagree with me, you get some artifacts here, like it's the way that the light doesn't know what, or the camera doesn't know what to do with the way that the light's hitting it right here, so it turns it into this gray patch. It doesn't know how to process that imagery, so it kind of just blurs it. But other than that, I think I see little antennae here. Got some wings here and here. 1, 2, 3, 6 limbs. It looks like right here. 1, 2, 3. Keep in mind this is blurred because the insect's in motion. I think we get some different angles on it. We'll see also that it looks like the insect is blurred. It definitely looks more like an insect when you get down to where it's more at ground level too. The light came on. It's what's attracted all these bugs to the backyard here. Mantis made the jump. Baby Mantis made the jump. I'm proud of you, but you don't need to be jumping on me in the middle of the stream. That was a big jump for a little tiny mantis. All right. Could it be a mayfly? It could. It could be a mantid fly. That's another possibility. Mantid flies are going to fly very similar to this. There are a few different flying insects that it could be. So it definitely doesn't require it to be a fairy. I think that this one is definitively an insect, though. I think we have limbs. I think we have antennae. I think we have an abdomen, thorax, and a cephalus. So I'm pretty confident that we can ID this one as a insect, but this one's the first one that I don't think is a moth. Yeah, it could be a mayfly. Right, let's see. What do we have next? All right, so this one is a little bit different. It's not during the day, and it's made the jump again. I'm going to have to put you away if you're going to keep doing that. You can't have that going on this whole stream. You're so tiny, and I don't want to lose you. Mantis dad problems. Mantis mom problems. I could be a mantis mom. I'm a kid dad, but I could be a mantis mom, right? Call me a mantis mom from now on. I demand it. I'm just joking. All right, let's see. So here we have. If you go down to the woods, is this going to be teddy bear picnic? Yeah. Okay, someone digging for artifacts. Spoons. Was it the little flying buddy that we were supposed to have seen that was a fairy? Did you see him? I did. So I saw the insect. Just surprising because it's snowy, but you know, you get that flight or fight instinct when you start digging around in the dirt around them. They're going to make that decision whether or not it's icy out, or there's some remnants of snow. Looks like it's kind of slushy. It could be as warm as 70 degrees and still have this much snow on the ground. I don't know what the temperature was, but let's watch it through again. See what we think. Right, I need my head, Vandalia. You're absolutely correct. This guy is really wanting to see the spoon. But I want to see the fairies. I think your spoon's cool. Cool, you found a spoon buried out here. Yes, I did see it. It looks very much like a flying insect. Let's have a closer look. I am down. Let's do it. Let's have that closer look. Zoom in. There's our giant spoon now. We pan up through the blurry snow. And suddenly a little creature appears and flutters off into the distance. Do you got any stills of that, amigo? Closer and slower. Yes, please. Closer and slower is my goal. Here we are, panning up through the blurry snow again. Nice and slowly through the blurry snow. And my mantis is still eyeballing me, saying, hey, I want to jump on your face now that you got me over here and I'm close to the mic. But there our creature appears from the lower left. Looks like it does have 2 wings, some hanging legs. It almost looks like a crane fly to me. This one also does not look like a moth, which is not surprising considering the time of day the picture was taken, or the video was taken. To me, this one looks like maybe a crane fly, some kind of dipteran, I think, because it's only got the 2 wings. It makes me think that it's a dipteran. But I could be wrong. Yeah, it'd be, well, the bugs start, so basically 411. So insects do hatch in the spring. Don't know if they, well, and I don't know what the season is or anything about this. Are there large flying insects in the winter? Depending on how the weather is. This winter's been, don't think a month has gone by this winter, which is new for Illinois. I don't think that a month has gone by that I haven't seen insects outside at some point during the week, because we've been getting heat spikes all winter where it gets up into this again. I'm in west central Illinois, where we traditionally have pretty decent winters up here, but in the winters, the winter weather is still here. It's just sporadic, and it's interlaced with warmer periods where it gets up into like the 70s, and there's insects. I've seen insects in December, January, February. I've seen insects this month in March. My wife was getting eaten by mosquitoes on the back porch a couple days ago, and then today it's back down into the 40s again. But insects have been, they will come out throughout the year. They will come out when there's still snow on the ground if the ambient temperature is warm. Just because that snow's down there does not mean that the ambient temperature is freezing, because the snow insulates itself and sticks around sometimes for days, even weeks, depending on how packed and thick it was into to fair weather conditions. So it's not surprising that this could happen, that you could see an insect flying in the snow. And I definitely think that what we were looking at there was an insect navigating through the snow. All right, we have just a few more here. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so this one is a snippet of a longer video. I'm just gonna pick out I subscribe to this Unexplained Mysteries YouTube channel. They're mostly like pro supernatural kind of things, but we have some weird images here that someone took. So we have a long, narrow body, some floof, and long antenna. Let's see here. And then here's a different angle of it where I really think that its pedigree comes into play. I see moth-like wings. It could be a caddisfly, but I think it's a moth. It's a long abdomen and feathery antenna. Just the way that it's moving and flapping its wings is giving the impression of something very different. Good morning, Diana. Good morning. All right, so that's this one. I have some ideas on that too. Let me share them with you. We have what's called woolly aphids. That's not what I'm looking at. Where'd it go? I had it pulled up and I closed it. They're not aphids. Aphids. This image is not of an. Or these images are not of an aphid. I just want to reiterate that, and I'm not claiming that they are. Just trying to. Yeah, I think woolly whiteflies is the name. Let's see here. There we are. Okay, so woolly whiteflies can be very floofy little fellas, and give the impression that they are wearing little fairy dresses and doing little fairy things when they flutter around. I'm not saying that that's what this one necessarily is, but it really does give that impression to me that it is a little woolly aphid. Let's look at it again here. So here is our alleged insect. Now here you're seeing double images too, so it's making it look a lot taller. Where does it zoom in on that? So you have the same wing and limbs here as you do here. So this is not something with four wings. It is again a frame rate issue, exposure time issue that is giving us a double image. As we move through here, this one looks more like the what we're seeing with our woolly little fly boys. But this one, when they show it from that angle, definitely looks like a moth to me. That looks like a moth to me. This right here, I don't have much doubt at all that what I'm looking at here is a moth. If someone showed me this image and said, hey, what is this insect? I would say that appears to be a moth. Could it be like an owl fly? Yes, could be an owl fly. I don't see the little bobbles on the end of the antenna, but that's not always a deal breaker, and it might not always be captured on the screen. But I think that what we are looking at here is a moth. All right, let's see. What do we have next? Or should I say, who do we have next? Which mystical fairy do we have next? All right, so here we have someone else looking into the dirt. I don't know if they were doing some more landscaping. but they want us to look down into the dirt with them, which I'm totally cool with. Yeah, let's get down in there and see what's going on. I think that what we're supposed to focus on, maybe this area right here. And they're trying to zoom in a lot, but you know, the camera only has so much zooming power. I run into this problem a lot when I'm taking my bug pictures because I can only zoom in so much with my phone camera. Tobin Templeman was talking to me the other day about needing to get a good micro camera or micro photography camera. I would love to. Oh my gosh, that would be so amazing. So what we have down here, something moving around, this little white dot. And this video is a little bit longer than what we've seen before. This is about 3.5 minutes, a little over 3.5 minutes. And we are looking at little tiny enough that I think that they could be, there's a few different things they could be. They could be springtails, but I think they're more either white, the woolly aphids, or maybe some more white flies, woolly white flies. But this one, I was just seeing barely any little flickers of movement. We have these little tiny dots. So very small. Here's another one and another one. These are flies. I even see the wings. I can see. Oh, hold on. Let's back that up just a second here. Yeah, I see. On this one, you see, you'll have the head right here. Can you all see my mouse? Yeah, you can. Okay. So the head right here, then you got a wing here and a wing here. So these are very much looking like they are flies to me. They're really white. If that's, I mean, that is that the point you're trying to make, is that these are the whitest of the white. They're tiny. Yeah, that's not how cameras work. You're not gonna get you're not gonna get any. And I fight with that too. I'm not trying to judge them, but you're not gonna get any clearer than this unless you bring the camera closer, because right now your max is zoomed and everything is blurry. I don't even know where we would get the impression that this was a fairy that we were looking at, though. It's moving like an insect. It's crawling through the I don't know if leaf litter is a natural habitat for fairies. I wouldn't think so. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe fairies do live in leaf litter. I've been wrong before about fairies. But yeah. little white very insect-like organisms moving through the grass that I think, again, are more of our woolly little white flies. Well, they're crawling around, secular rarity. Yeah, they are crawling, I guess. But they look like little white flies to me. All right, so that was that one. Not exactly convincing. All right. So, for the most part, I guess that's it for our fairies. Now, I mean, you could agree to disagree or not, but I feel like what we are looking at is very much something like this. Something like one of these insects, at least in that video, that last video. The other ones, I feel like, look at that. That's basically what they were capturing, right? Woolly aphid fairy fly. They even call them fairy flies. Look, fairy flies, because of the way they look. Woolly aphids, and I was wrong about them being not aphids, because they are aphids. I thought that they were true flies. It's just the name for them. So you heard it here. I'm wrong about bugs all the time. I like making mistakes and learning and correcting myself, and I like doing it publicly, because it's okay for me to make mistakes, and it's okay for you to make mistakes, because we all do. We're all human. Our eyes aren't perfect, our brains aren't perfect, our ears aren't perfect. So what you see, hear, or think may not be perfectly aligned, but what we need to make sure that we're doing is moving forward and learning from it. So as long as we're doing that, we're on the right path. All right, so what do we got next on the agenda here? That was CryptoCorner, looking at some different fairy videos, different fairy images. I did not find any of them particularly convincing, though we did get to learn and delve into a bit of bug science. What I'm most excited about today actually was what's coming up next. So if you tuned in for CrypticCorner, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And you have yourself a pleasant weekend. Please remember to be kind and take care.